Welcome to another installment of the APB recap. Let's get straight into it, shall we? I don't blame tourists for visiting our wonderful island that is Bali. It is definitely a beautiful place to live in, and I honestly don't want to live anywhere else, especially not Jakarta. But if you want to take our best, you have to accept us at our worst. And one thing that we really pride on is the audacity of our cocks. Disturbed by the sound of roosters, Russian tourists made a petition to the government. That's right, Russian tourists are actually making a petition to the Balinese government and telling them to, I don't know, tell the roosters to calm the hell down? Just saying to all the tourists out there, we will not back down when you filthy foreigners decide to meddle in our natural habitats. Let me tell you right here, right now, our cocks are big, our cocks are loud, and we will shove it up yours. But one thing is for certain, you guys should definitely shove that like and subscribe button. Those are the best ways to help the channel for free. Seriously, thank you so much. Corporations making memes can be really annoying in social media. Some of them can be really amusing, especially when you know their origins. Microsoft Edge made this meme where they are bashing Chrome because Chrome is a really bad competition. It's funny, not because of the intended message, but because of the unintended message. Since the DNA of Chromium is both in Edge and Chrome, this meme is like a browser sibling rivalry. That or Edge has daddy issues.
You know what I think? I think you have a serious case of daddy issues.
Funny thing is, I actually use Microsoft Edge. I have a different browser for different purposes, and I primarily use Edge for work. And surprisingly enough, I also occasionally use Bing. Their image search can actually yield much better results than Google image search. And believe it or not, they actually provided much better results for my college thesis. I also find it funny that when I look up Bing on Google Images, this random cartoon shows up. Don't know what it is, but it's still funny nonetheless. Makes me wonder, what if I search Bing on Bing image search? Close enough, I guess? So while Chrome has been slacking as the competition, it's the daddy issues that I find funny about this meme. Edge, maybe you really should talk it out with Daddy Chrome. Sort out some issues before you lay it out with the rest of the world. And if you really want to talk with me, let's have a chat in the Q&A session at my stream channel linked down below. Not only that we got Q&A, we also got loads of other hooplas that are exclusive to the streams. Our last episode, 113, also got timestamps, so you can skip to the parts that you want. Seriously, check them out and go subscribe. Unfortunately, the censorship of old books continue. Last time it was Roald Dahl's books, the author of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and many other classics that I've talked about in 2 recaps. And now we have another offer of a classic book, except this time, the author in question is still alive and well, and they have a word to say on the censorship. A censorship that apparently happened without their consent. R.L. Stine is the author of the Goosebumps books, and apparently his books are gonna be censored or revised for modern audiences. When someone asked him about the censorship, he actually responded and said that the censorship was done without his consent and that the changes were never shown to him. Yes, they censored the books without his knowledge. There's a saying that if you're innocent, you hire Phoenix Wright, and if you're guilty, you hire Saul Goodman. In this case, hire Saul Goodman anyway. Not because you're guilty, but because you want to make sure that you drain as much cash from this irresponsible publisher. Phoenix Wright wouldn't want to do something that devious, but Saul Goodman will, and I'm in the mood for some settlement money from this stupidity. Or maybe Saul Goodman isn't the right lawyer. Who do you guys think he should hire? Share your thoughts in the comments.
I've never heard our entire system of justice encapsulated so succinctly.
Funny story about me and my siblings. At one point, we were trying to have a video chat, and all of us are in 3 different places. All of us try to have a chat in Zoom, and it works for a while, but Zoom has a 45-minute limit. Then we switched to Google Meet, which works just fine until there's another freaking limit. Then we switch to Discord. While there are issues, at least there's no freaking limit. I like Discord as a video calling app, not so much for the community that it festers, but it does have its downs too, thanks to the recent hooplas. No thanks to the recent hooplas. Discord will introduce AI experiments, which is not a huge issue at first as chatbots has been used before, but the issue isn't on the chatbots and more about how Discord is using your data. They are using your data and feeding them to to the AI. Apparently, on the privacy notice, they removed the parts that say they do not store contents or videos or voice calls or channels, and they also removed the part that says that they do not store streaming content when you share your screen. Now, I watch movies with my girlfriend and I stream those movies through Discord. I mean, we watch the Paddington movies. They're freaking amazing, by the way. Genuinely some of the best movies released in the 2010s. Go watch them. No, I'm serious. Go watch them. And I don't know if Discord is gonna copy strike me for our private conversations and our private watching sessions that are clearly none of their business. Thankfully, there is a way for you to opt out of this conversation, and that is to go to the privacy and safety settings on your Discord and then checking off the 2 checkboxes that are talking about data to improve Discord and customize the Discord experience. These checkboxes basically say, yes, Discord, please take all my data and feed them to your monstrous AI. If you don't like that, check them off. And failing that, seems like I have to switch to Slack or something. As you're all aware, I'm a filthy pirate, and I love to sail the 7 seas to get all sorts of things that I like. While I can pay for all these things, I'd rather allocate that money for better investments. But some pirates decide to take their piracy game into the next freaking level. A highly illegal and dangerous level, but commendable nonetheless. YouTuber Omi and Hellcat sentenced to 5 years in prison and has $30 million fine over a piracy scam. Wow! What has this guy done that has caused this level of commotion? Well, it turns out that Omi has been running a cable TV piracy scheme. What they do is they take cable TV, remove all the copyright stuff, and stream them to other platforms where you don't have to pay for cable. My question is, why cable TV? It's like nothing but crap out there. And this is where a lot of you pirates need to be super cautious. If you want to live on the safe side of the 7 seas, don't be the fence for the goods. And Omi is not only a fence for the goods, but also has a YouTube channel with over 800,000 subscribers at the time of writing this video. And another thing about being the seller of stolen goods in the 7 seas is the more profits you're taking, the more risk the feds are gonna find out. The police stole loads and loads of assets, going over $30 million, which includes $6 million in cash, Lamborghinis, Porsches, Bentleys, as well as more dozen properties across Philly. And also a bunch of McLarens. Yep, the pirate fence is really living the millionaire dream. But I do think that it's kind of suspicious that a YouTuber with less than 1 million subscribers is able to afford all of those things. I mean, it's still lots of subs and views granted, but enough to buy multiple cars and properties? Yeah, I'd be suspicious too. But there is no denying that for a pirate, this guy got style. People have loads and loads of opinions on Mr. Beast, and personally, I'm not a huge fan of his content, but I do appreciate that he tries to share his wealth to everyone. Recently, he decided to give 20,000 kids in Africa shoes to go to school, which is absolutely amazing. But even someone as charitable as Mr. Beast can have lots of haters. What kind of haters? Well, let's just take one example. Dude really decided to go full white savior mode, huh? Okay, this is quite the accusation. Now, the thing is, white savior is an actual thing. It's when white people assume that non-white people have issues and they're trying to fix issues that non-white people actually don't have, but white people assume that they have. Calling him a white savior would imply that the issue that he's fixing is not really a problem that the kids are suffering from. So the question to this user is, are the kids in Africa not suffering this issue? And let's just say that they don't. What should Mr. Beast do instead to help those kids? Or are you saying that he shouldn't help them because he's white and they're black? I'm just saying there are loads and loads of complaints towards Mr. Beast, but if I am Mr. Beast, I would ask these guys what the hell they expect me to do? Pay them cash instead? Or better yet, maybe don't deal with these guys at all. Let me know when y'all catch up and realize how weird this mofo is. That's your subjective opinion. That doesn't really help much unless you elaborate how to make this whole thing, you know, not weird. He's directly profiting from extreme poverty. Yes. Yes.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes.
Yeah, but the kids got shoes, right? Yes. Yes.
Yes, 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 yes.
Your overall point here is that he makes profit from helping people. That's a good thing. What are you talking about?
May I remind you, this is a good thing.
People obfuscating the point that we're trying to make about Mr. Beast. We're not, but okay, continue. It's incredibly strange to do charity content. Yeah, I don't care about your opinion. I care about what you want Mr. Beast to do with your opinion. I mean, if I'm Mr. Beast and you call me weird, then the logical conclusion is I shouldn't be weird, right? Then how can I not be weird? If I can't not be weird, then why should I listen to you? Would he still be generous if he couldn't make a spectacle of it? Yes. Yes, he would. If he wouldn't, then he would be like every YouTuber that wastes their money on rich people things, then donating to charity. No one is saying doing good things is bad. That's exactly what you're saying. But okay, then carry on. We are saying his existence is emblematic of the capitalistic society we live in, and that's bad. So you are saying that doing good things is bad. I mean, capitalism relies on the mutual benefits of the two private parties. And while Mr. Beast is definitely, undeniably benefiting from his content, the other party benefits too. And even if it's emblematic of the capitalistic society we live in, at least it's not a communist society, you filthy commie.
I'd say maybe I don't want to socialize with the pinko liberal Democrat commie.
Again, if I'm Mr. Beast, what am I supposed to do with this point? Stop making content so that I don't contribute to the bad capitalistic society? I mean, considering how a lot of Mr. Beast's content is helping people, then you are also indirectly suggesting that Mr. Beast should stop helping people. And this is why I think a lot of people should not be critics, because a lot of their criticisms do not have a clear goal in what to do to rectify their critique. Maybe because those aren't really critiques and they're just whining that a rich guy is being generous instead of spending his cash irresponsibly. And speaking of cash, there's this stupid TikTok screenshot. When someone says they paid cash for their house or bought their car with cash, it doesn't literally mean they paid with physical dollar. Yes, it does. Yes, it freaking does. That's what paying cash means. Paying with physical dollar bills. If you had to add, although it could, then the original meaning is actually what it meant. What else do you think paying with cash means? It just means that they had enough money in their bank account to pay the full price up front and didn't need to get a mortgage loan or a car loan. That's not paying cash. That's called paying up front. I mean, if paying cash means paying up front, then why would Dante says this?
Cash up front. This I like.
Seriously, think about that for a second. And while you're thinking about that, if you pay cash up front just $1 to any links here, check out down below, you'll get your names on the credit. Thanks. Well, if it isn't the consequences of your actions. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever edgy ideologies you're gonna take, you all need to be aware that you're not living in a vacuum. There are people around you that care for you and try to make sure that you're living well. If they don't exist or they don't care about you, well, first off, I'm sorry about that. And second, take comfort on the fact that at least you can adopt any ideology you want without any consequences. That feeling when your package comes in and your mom questions you about it and it makes you open it in front of her and she sees that it's a swastika flag attached. Yes, this person is being a Nazi for real.
The Germans had you in World War II. We could have stopped that thing before it started.
She says she's never been more disappointed in you, and she cries, and you're just sitting there trying to tell her the truth about the world and the elite, but she won't listen and continues to cry. I mean, that's just the consequences of your actions. Guys, go ahead and be a bigot all you like, but I am warning you, this isn't a world that lets bigots roam free. There will be consequences to your bigotry and intolerance. I'm not really in the market for punishing people because I'm just one guy. I can't really do much, but I am in the market for warning and educating, and I'm telling you right now, frankly speaking, I think you guys are all responsible adults and you guys know what the hell you guys are doing. But if you're not adults, well, let me tell you this. Being a Nazi sucks, and if you want everybody to accept you, that's gonna be a really difficult road, so good luck with that. This Twitter user shared this post with some really insane warnings. Warning, don't read if you're suicidal. Jeez, that's quite the warning. Women know you're suffering and they don't give a single shit about you. Women are robots with no emotions.
All women are guilty, Danny. You should know that.
I mean, even if I agree with you, I do want to see how suicidal I'd be when I read the post that you posted. So you know what? Let's get reading. Oh. It's a Femcel post. A female incel post. Let's get reading. This Femcel makes a rule. The 666 rule, which is quite devilish. 6 feet. you mean 6 foot, because last time I checked, most of us only have 2 feet. 6 inches, as in 6 inches PP, and 6 figures, as in salary over 100K a year. Now, I don't count salaries on a yearly basis, so let's make it over 120K a year, which is over 10K a month. She thought that she needs to settle with men who have less of any of those criterias. Shorter, make less money, and have a short PP. Well, she doesn't really have to. Why? Because there's a pool of bachelors who have all 3. That's true. There is a pool of bachelors who have all 3. The question isn't their lack of existence. The question is, if they want someone like you. That's the thing. You assume that women here don't have value by default because you can't see what we're like. Wow, you got confidence, and yet you still have no high quality men. I wonder why that is. A lot of us aren't being unreasonable, and yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are being unreasonable for having these standards. The sooner you face that fact, the better. For the record, it's not unreasonable to think that someone like you would want to have men who have all of those characteristics. It's not even unreasonable to assume that there are men who have all of those 3 characteristics that you want. It is unreasonable to assume that all of those men want to be with someone like you. In real life, I am attractive.
You really are delusional.
Wow. There's confidence and then there's delusions. To all the incels out there, please don't believe whatever this girl is saying. This girl is delusional. She genuinely thinks that she's attractive enough to deserve the 666 men. No, if you girls think that you deserve a man like that, you're speaking out of entitlement. People who deserve men like that do not brag about deserving men like that. They just actually went out and get them. This goes for both genders, actually. Oh, and one more thing. Casual sex is for Chad only. Yeah, guys, and also girls, you have to choose if you want to have a no strings attached type of relationship or you want to have a long-term relationship, because casual sex doesn't always lead to long-term. If you value casual sex that highly, that means that you're only looking for a sexual partner rather than a long-term romantic one. At that point, just hire some sex workers. Incels from both genders really have to decide on what they really value in a relationship before they worship the Chads or the Stacys. And if you really got insulted for being called an average man, maybe because it's, well,
because you are.
And that's all for the recap today, guys. If you like this recap, click the like and subscribe button below. Thank you so much for watching and liking and subscribing, and especially thank you so much for all of these donators. If you want to see your names among these awesome people, just $1 and you'll get your names among these awesome people. Seriously, thank you guys so much, and I will see you all next time.